Nicholas Hospice Care Light Up a Life. It is wonderful to welcome you together as we come together and remember people who have died this year. It's been a really difficult year for many people. We've been separated, we've been facing loss and grief, often alone, often at home, not being able to have those hugs, that comfort from each other. But we need to remember that that light that we feel has gone out is still with us in our hearts. And we need to remember those people, the light they gave us, the joy they gave us. And remember that we're not alone. We all face grief together. We're walking that journey together. And thank you for being part of this.
Hello, my name is Tony and I'm a non-religious chaplain or pastoral care volunteer as we're known. I'm a colleague of John who's a humanist like me and he's also a volunteer chaplain at St Nicholas Hospice. So I will be offering you some non-religious reflections and words of comfort in memory of loved ones who have died, whether that is in recent or past years. Perhaps before you watch my video, you'd like to get out your memory box or join me in setting up a little memory shrine, as I call it. Here's the one I've set up for my dad. He died 21 years ago, but he still feels close to me, and little things often come to mind which remind me of him. You might also like to watch the Humanist National Memorial Ceremony, which you can find online on Facebook or YouTube. It includes more non-religious reflections from people like Alice Roberts, Michael Rosen and Joan Bakewell. And it's about coping with the sense of loss in our lives during the pandemic, and it's also a celebration of our common humanity. Hello. At this time of year, when others may be looking forward to the festive season, it might be a sad time for you, or it might be a time when you particularly choose to remember someone who's been close to you, but not with us anymore. We all know that every life must come to an end. We see a cycle of birth and death constantly around us, not only in the lives of our families and friends, but also reflected in the ever-changing seasons of the year. In the same way as the moon waxes and wanes, the tides ebb and flow, life and death are part of that never-ending cycle of the world and of humanity. The same shared humanity that we've seen in the outpouring of kindness, help and care willingly given to others during this pandemic. Whichever way we try to make sense of our existence here in this one life we have, we're naturally saddened whenever we remember a loved one who has died. And if we do live on in any way after death, it's in the things we leave behind, the stories, the things we made, the things we gathered around us, and our descendants. We live on in the things we pass on, our values and our outlook on life. We live on in the hearts and memories of those who knew and loved us. For those of you who were not with your loved one when they died, or if you were affected by the restrictions of the coronavirus, you may not have been there as you would have wanted to reassure them, to hold their hand, to ease their suffering, or to help bring peace. But be assured that they knew your love was present, because they held in their very being the deep connection between you. They felt the meaning you brought to their life and how precious you've been to them. Even at a distance, your love was like their comfort blanket at that time. And so we remember our loved ones who are not with us. Our love for them does not by any means end with their death. Love is in the present. Your love for them can continue to warm your life with fond memories, bringing a smile to your face or a tear to your eye, or even a good laugh when you remember those funnier little moments. Remember those precious little times together, like the holidays and birthdays, their endearing little habits, the jokes and stories they told, their favourite football team or garden flowers, the fishing trips, the cakes they baked for you. Bring out the photos to look at. Open up the memory box if you have one. Take out the scarf or hat. Hold it close. Put on their favourite music. Light a candle. Have a couple of minutes to sit in silence and reflect. However you remember them, light up their life and let it shine into your life. Also, for a moment, let's just think about the staff and carers at the hospice and in the community. They have had to go an extra mile to cope with the additional requirements placed upon them in order to remain safe and keep others safe during this pandemic. At times, they must feel vulnerable, tired, frustrated. So I'm sure you'll join me in thinking of them and thanking them most sincerely for their dedication and perseverance, for their skills and their compassion, for every little act of their kindness. We are very thankful. So to finish, just a reminder that there are a few more non-religious words of reassurance and reflection on the Humanist National Memorial Ceremony video, which I mentioned in the introduction. I wish you peace, love and kindness in your lives, and I will leave you this short poem of remembrance. Those who leave us this great heritage of remembering joy still live on in our hearts, in the happiness we knew, in the dreams we shared. They still breathe in the lingering fragrance, wind blown from their favourite flowers. They still smile in the moonlight's silver and laugh in the sunlight's sparkling gold. They speak in the echoes of the words we've heard them say again and again. They still move in the rhythm of the waving grasses, in the dances of the swaying branches. They are not dead. Their memory is warm in our hearts, comfort in our sorrow. They are not apart from us, but part of us. For love is eternal, and those we love shall be with us throughout all eternity.
Poem by Anne Morris. Light of my life, when I see your face again, I know what I will say, just how much I love and miss you each and every day. And even though we are now oh so far apart, you are still here with me, deep inside my heart. I think about the things we did, the life that we lived through. This brings me so much comfort as I remember you. The tears I shed, the pain I feel, I know that slowly this will heal. So my beloved, you're not here, I know that you have gone, but your spirit shines so brightly, you still live on and on.
At this time of remembrance, let us reflect and cherish the memories and love we have for those who are no longer with us.
John Crowther, Arthur Dunn, Roger Higgins, Susan Jennifer, Raymond Peaver.
where wherever we are, we keep a minute's silence. We remember those who've died, those whom we love but see no more. We also remember those not known to us, but whose death is a loss to those who love them. Those who have died in this past year through COVID-19, acts of terrorism, violence, people trafficking, and natural disasters. As fellow travellers in this world, we pause and remember. In the beginning of the year and when it ends, we remember them. We remember them. As long as we live, they too shall live, for they are part of us, and we remember them. We remember them.
My name is Ruth French. I'm the Operations Director of Stowe Healthcare. From our inception a decade ago, we've worked extremely closely with our local hospice, St Nicholas. Our registered nurses and care staff have benefited enormously from the brilliant training that St Nicholas Hospice have been able to offer us over the course of the last decade. Their palliative care training is second to none, and I can honestly say that the support that we have had from them across all of our homes has enabled all of our care staff and our registered nurses to provide really excellent palliative care. We're proud to carry on our partnership with St Nicholas Hospice and thank them very much for their significant efforts.
Hi. My mum was taken seriously ill at the beginning of May this year during lockdown. She was admitted to St Nicholas Hospice for their expert and professional care. Mum was so pleased to be there. She didn't want to go anywhere else. She felt safe there, which was really important to her and me and my sisters. The care she received was second to none, from the doctors to the nurses to the kitchen team, who provided tasty meals to meet her dietary requirements. I felt relief knowing she was in the capable hands of the team at St Nick's. As a family, we were supported too, with daily phone calls to arrange visiting, and Reverend Sharon Connell kept in regular contact with us and spent a lot of time with Mum. She and I even sang Christmas carols for Mum, and it was early June. Mum passed away at St Nick's, yet their care continued, from creating a peaceful room for her to taking the time to sit in the rain outside with my sister and I to talk and listen and support us. I felt a great sense of peace about Mum's final weeks, and I know that the team at St Nick's did everything they possibly could for her. I'm extremely grateful. Thank you.
Over the last 9 months, the pandemic has changed not only the way in which we've been able to work with families, but also our outlook on following the hospice's strategy of equip, provide and strive. We will all experience loss at some point in our lives, so it's important that the people around us know how to support us and how we can support each other, from the places we work at to our network of friends and family or educational settings we and our children attend. Talking about and dealing with death and dying is a skill, an ability that we all have but often forget that we possess. Using online platforms has allowed us at St Nicholas Hospice Care to reach more people, meaning that conversations around death and dying are happening more and more in educational settings. This work is paramount as we are constantly experiencing loss in our community, so the more we can talk openly about something that is so difficult, the more we can affect others in a positive way. We would now like to show you a short video from a young person who has been supported by our services. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Esther, and when I was 13, I'd actually gone through bereavement when my parents died. It was a really difficult time, especially at that age. You shouldn't go through anything like that, and I experienced St Nicholas Hospice family support during that time, and it was just lovely. Like, it was a lovely experience, especially when all my friends, they couldn't really relate to me. Going to that after school and just being in an environment where people understood what I was going through, no one really asked many questions. I got to be a kid again. It was just brilliant. And yeah, I took part in Nikki's Way, where we did activities like making memory jars, and being able to reflect was really important at that time. I actually got to go back, I think it was last year or 2 years ago, to go help out again, and it was just lovely seeing the impact that it has on children who are bereaved to, you know, be kids again. It's really important, and I'm just really grateful that I got to experience that.
I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank everybody who has made these Light Up a Life events possible. And really a big thank you to all of you who have contributed and supported us in memory of loved ones. Your support makes such a difference to St Nicholas Hospice Care. Thank you.